I bet you didn't think you'd be watching someone on YouTube digging a hole today. Well, good morning everybody. Today is a bit of a milestone in that we have finished the chickpeas. Well, actually it was last night, but I wasn't here. So Josiah finished up the chickpeas last night. So it was 350 hectares roughly of chickpeas. And yeah, he got it all done. I think he was the only one that was driving it in the chickpeas, so he did a really good job. So yeah, the plan is to get that back up to the hill. There's a fair bit of work to be done to it. Just to try and, we probably don't need to use that again, but yeah, it's always a good idea when you finish with something like that, while all the issues are fresh in your mind, things that need to be fixed and replaced, you can you can remember and get on top of them then, so you don't get a rude surprise next year when we pull it out to start sowing with it, and we start remembering then all the things that were wrong. But anyway, today's job, I'm going to be doing some spraying. So I'm going to spray out a pre-emergent spray, which goes down after the plant has been through, a bit different to the previous stuff we've been spraying, which goes down before the planter goes through. So yeah, that is the plan. So hopefully I'll get it all done today. Well, I'm just going through and opening the gates that need to be opened, because being crop farmers, we can't handle gates. It just does us. So no, not really, it's not that bad, but yeah, so instead of pulling up in the rogator and hopping out, climbing down, all of that, I'll just open them while I'm in my ute. But also it means that I can go for a little wander here, and I will see if we can see any sprouts on some chickpeas. So this was the first paddock we sowed. This isn't the first part of it that we sowed, but we'll have a bit of a look anyway, see what we can see. I bet you didn't think you'd be watching someone on YouTube digging a hole today. There we go, there's another one. Oh yeah, I think I left half of it down there, but there we go. So that's one that's on his way up. So that is good. Better poke him back in there. Let's just put him back in there. Cover him up. There's a bit of wet stuff. I'm not quite at the same level as Phil, where I kiss him and put him back. So anyway, that's a bit of excitement for the day. So Brad and I brought down all the chemical that we need the other day, so it should all be here ready to go. We've got Simazine, and over there is Balance, or it's the name of it's Bounty, but it's otherwise known as Balance. So yeah, both of these are going down. Now, if you have ever had experience with Simazine, you will know that it's not the most fun thing to spray, because it will get caught up everywhere. You have to flush the system like super duper duper well after you're finished, and yeah, otherwise you'll get all your nozzle bodies blocked up. So see, this nozzle body here is on the end of a boom, and this isn't a recirculating boom, so that would also help if it was, but it isn't. So yeah, you have to make sure you crack them, flush them all out, so otherwise you'll get a heap of that stuff stuck in the end of this pipe here where it finishes up, and yeah, it's not fun, really not fun. So I'll have to, when I finish up, and that's why we wanted to do it all in one day, so waiting for the planter to finish, which it has, so I can do the whole thing in one day, so I only have to flush it all out really well once. So that is, all the filters, all the boom filters, I'm going to have to flush really well. I don't know, I'll probably end up putting like 1,000 or 2,000 litres through it, flushing everything just super duper well, so that will probably take a fair bit of time. But anyway, we will get into it. So I thought what I also would do, because every spray is different and it all looks really complicated how to work them, I'd do a very brief, I don't think I've ever done it, but I'll show you very briefly what and how you operate as far as filling up the tank, what you do. So basically it all starts, you start the engine, you've got the control here, and that is to activate the switches here, and then you can change your revs up and down so you can suck through product quicker or whatever you want. That is the pump there. That blue button is the high pro pump, which is that one there, and that's what basically is the main pump for the whole system. So that has to be going to be able to suck anything through this vat, and that there is where you hook up like your micro fitting to when you're sucking out of a shuttle. So yeah, you have to have that pump going and then flick this lever over to there. You can see a picture of a vat, and that means it'll start sucking product through. And then you obviously got to have it on there for spraying. We've also got two different places to hook up to here. So this is straight into the tank. So when you've got another pump here, say, and you can just pump the product straight in and not worry about anything. This one here is for the pump that is over here. So this is a pump as well, a fill pump. We generally only run fresh, clean water through this. We don't run the chemical through there, just to keep it nice and tidy. And so yeah, that is from this switch, that's your pump, and then you can suck through there and fill the main tank, or that switch fills the flush tank on the top. So why we generally fill with this one, with its own pump, is because it means you can use your fresh water to wash out the vat and flush the micro fitting. The micro fitting fits in there, and you can flush out your hoses really nicely and easily, which you can't really do that when you are filling from this point. So yeah, and we don't have a pump down here, so I'm just going to get the hose and hook straight up to that. Tip the bags in there slowly, and yeah, then just wait for it to fill up. Right, well, we got that all in there. Just got to wait for it to fill up with water, and we will go and spray. So while we're unfolding, this sprayer, compared to the Howsam, or the Grasshopper as we call it, is, yeah, it does make a substantial difference in being able to get things done a bit quicker. This here will do, generally speaking, when you've got a few contours and that, you obviously have to go a bit slower, but anywhere from probably 60 to 80 hectares in an hour is fairly normal. But yeah, if you're going much more than that, you've got to be hooking along fairly quickly. So it is possible to do 100 hectares an hour, but you've got to be doing like 30 kilometers an hour, which is yeah, not really the thing we do here. actually has been a very uneventful day. Nothing exciting's happened, so it's pretty well the end of the day. This is my last run, and yeah, it's all done and dusted. So I've just got a fair bit of flushing out to do now. Yeah, hopefully I can get that done before we lose all the light. Righto, so I only had a couple litres there to dump out. So what we're going to do now is we've got that 400 litres up there in that black tank, which is fresh water. So I'm just going to do an initial flush to get the bulk out of it here. So that basically there'll be no chemical in the system, but I'll go back to the tank and do another flush out too, which will mostly just be water, but yeah, just to make sure we don't have anything caught in the lines. So what we're going to do is shut this one off up under here, shut this big tap off. That big tap is the main tap for the tank. So now that's all off. Got this blue tap here we want to turn on. So that means that it's all fresh water. Now in the cab there, I've activated all the nozzles, so the minute I turn this pump on here, we should have product come out. So you can see we might be able to see, but it is coming out. But what I actually like to do first is, because I've only got 400 litres, I don't want a heap of water being wasted. So I come through and do all these end sections that stuff can get caught up in. So go through and turn all of these. There's one there. And you get the picture. Oh, seems like it never ends. Right, so that's that. I don't quite know why I walked on this side. Oh. But just with the gravity from the tank being up there, we can crack these and watch till clean water comes out. So these are the filter housings in here. We probably will pull these off and give them a good clean tomorrow or sometime, but just for the minute, we'll just get all the chemical out of them. So that's pretty clean there. So I'll go through and do that and leave them going for a bit. This way it at least means that all the lines have got fresh water in them, and so it doesn't take as long for me to flush out all the nozzle bodies. Anyway, I hope this isn't too boring. It's just a weird thing. I find sometimes I enjoy watching boring things, so it's hard to know what to do sometimes. Yeah, like I said this morning, this stuff just gets stuck everywhere. It's painful. Righto. So now that's done, I go and turn the pump on, and we hopefully have all the chemical coming out of these ends as well as the nozzles. If we don't, it usually means we've got a nozzle body blocked, which again is painful, but that's just what happens sometimes. There we go, they're coming out there now. That's good. Give them a really good flush. Got the fence line nozzle there, it'll take a little while to clear up. We'll probably have to change that one. So that's all clean. Sometimes give it a bit of a turn. and I can shut them off. These are, and you just hope that all this is done before you run out of water. It's 50-50. I think I missed that one. Oh, ran out of water. Or running out of water. But all of these have been, that's all clean water anyway, so just in the nick of time. Well, that means that we have got pretty much all the chemical out of the system. I will go and hook up to the tank, and I will flush another, I don't know, I'll probably flush another 500 litres at least through, make sure everything's good.